This is F121. This is the mainstream racing series. This is race number 16 out of 24. I'm Sir Bauer. Glad you're with us tonight for the start of the final third of our season 3. And where could we be better for that than Lapland, Silverstone, England. Very welcome, every one of you. So it's getting crucial. It is getting crucial. In the real life F1, we are between the final two races. And for the MRS, we are here, as mentioned, starting the final third. And as we do so, we have a look at the standings right now, and it's a family duel, a family event between the Walshes. The older brother Thomas Walsh leading level on points with his younger brother Dominic Walsh. Usually we say what happens on the track stays on the track, but no, for sure not. These two boys will take it all out in the family duel. And we had some funny family jokes already, because I heard that the family steward between the Walshes is Mama Walsh. Not sure if it's really going that far, but yeah, can it be any more interesting? Can it be any more interesting than a championship probably / maybe being decided between two true racing brothers? And off we go. While I told you a few times about the ongoing story, we are already on our way to Silverstone in the middle of England. And usually MRS is racing with regular corner cuts. This is the, I think, third race of this season where we try out the strict corner cut. So like the real F1 is testing out the waters of sprint qualities, we are testing out the waters of strict corner cuts. Usually we did not want our races to be decided too much on penalty seconds, but most racing series go on strict, and so we test this out here for a few races in our third season. So, good evening, Sam Gobert, finally racing with us here on the grid while we see fair weather, sunny, and I suppose most of our drivers will be happy about that. And I am very happy about the fact that we have a full grid tonight. Neves Ikic already out due to some penalty he has to serve. Nevertheless, 20 men in. Finally a full grid tonight, and of course it is in Silverstone, Lapland, just drawing people in. And who will be the first one to go out on track tonight? I suppose that this one, SG Zwarm, I suppose that this is SG Sam Gobert, who just told us he is happy, at least I hope that he is happy to be here for his first race with us. And the first one out on track, that is, I suppose, a Haas, can probably only be, yes, there he is, Jack Rocknan, Englishman, his home Grand Prix, around about 2/3 of MRS British/English, so the home race for the majority of drivers for our racing league. But not only MRS has started as a more or less English only race league, but has developed more or less internationally. We had drivers already from Peru and US and Australia and whatever, and we are very European, but not only. So Rognan is starting his first start lap. As always, we sit on top, sit down on his shoulder to watch him work here in sector 1. Right-left combination followed by left field, the first DRS zone. Coming up right here. Seven, 27.5 his first sector time, no comparison yet, of course. And after Woodcourt we go to the original start-finish straight and into Copse, where Hamilton shot out Verstappen in July, and then through the fast combination, Maggots, Beckett and Chapel out on the Hangar Straight. Last reminder that this was an airfield once, long through Stowe Vale and Club, and then eventually out on the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight, short straight but important straight as it is the new start finish straight, and Jack Rognan has shown us at 127.4, that 0.7. That is already pretty good. 2 point something seconds faster than the real life world record. The real life F1 record. Achter Lücken. Jelle, his real name, is already behind. And Dylan Chapman has beat his time barely, but he did. And Dylan Chapman is an important name for our event here tonight, because I mentioned already that the championship is a brothers duel. Thomas versus Dominic Walsh. Dominic Walsh, by the way, the winner of season 1, champion of season 1. And those two boys are level, 231 points each. And P3 goes to Dylan Chapman. He is 60 points behind the Walshes. 60 points, that's pretty much, but with 9 races remaining, this is still possible for him. It is still possible, but he must make up points. He cannot allow any of the Walshes to finish ahead of him for every of the races left. And we see one Alpha Tauri. There he was. He is out already. That is Village Loop, I think. And this was Joshua Tyler, latest addition to MRS. Just his first race tonight. And another one that was UL Wiegel. UL Wiegel crashed, I think, somewhere close to the start-finish straight. Sadly didn't find anyone to depict it for us, to show us what happened to him. But anyway, this as it is. They are sadly already out. Means next one is Iggy Lai. Oh my, what's going on here today? So many crashes. Cannot show you Iggy Lai sadly too. But I can tell you that was he lost his car on the exit of Copse at around 300. Let's see if our opossum, there was another one, FX Chef. Just when we browsed through the field, here it was where Iggy Lai lost his car on his home race, and just while searching for him, we saw someone else. Right here it was. That is Abbey. In Abbey It was Gregory Mortier, the chef, our cook, who threw his Williams away. Whew, a lot of stuff going on here. We're still in, I think, the first half of the qualifying, and we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars that ran somehow into the barrier. Just not even 8 minutes through. And all of that makes Dylan Chapman still the provisional pole setter. One thing I could imagine to be part of it is the fact that we are on strict corner cuts here tonight, because there might be some drivers who got their lap time deleted. That was, for example, Josh Taylor, Joel Wiegel and Gregory Mortier. All of them have a 1 standing next to their tire sets, but they didn't set a time yet. Same goes for Dominic Walsh, who is still in his pits. Let's have a look what Simo is doing. Peter Simpson, the still reigning champion of Season 2, who we search a successor for, because sadly it was already around about 2 months ago when it was obvious that Simo will not have a chance to defend his championship title. For some reason he just couldn't acquaint very well to the new game. He was so strong on F1 2020, but for 21 something was just wrong for him. And so it is obvious that he'll need a successor for his throne. The ironic thing is he is a lifelong diehard McLaren fan while posting the pole time, 1:27.2. Yeah, Simo was sitting in the Ferrari when he almost won the championship in Season 1. Then he was sitting in the Renault where he won the championship in Season 2. And as soon as he sat down into the cockpit of his McLaren, his favorite team, yeah, he is just out of competitiveness. But okay. There will be another season. I hope he will stay with us for a few more years, a few more seasons to come. And then he'll probably be back to competitiveness next season. Meanwhile, Jag Rognan in the Haas has pushed up into second on his in-lap back to the pits. Dylan Chapman is running, and he's running hot, 4.5 tenths in his hands of improvement. That could give him the pole back from Simo. Can he finish it? Yes, he can. 1:27.1, 700ths. The gap to Simpson. And Andrew Mond, strong lap, giving him P4 right here. On his way back to the pits, 6 tenths behind Chapman. Achter Lücken, Jelle his name, in P5. Strong time too. He had a pretty strong showing in his inaugural race last week. He was on the way for a potential podium in Abu Dhabi, throw it away in the end, but it was overall a very, very strong race. Thomas Walsh only in P6 here right now, 8 tenths behind Chapman. Now in 7 because Leonard Cam, our sole Scotsman, pushed ahead up into P3. All Haas starting row 2. Leonard Cam, Stuart McDonald and Rognan 3 and 4. Then we see Sam Gobert in P8, not bad, in his first showing for MRS. Mark Goodman, P9, now P10. Now P10. Because Mike Taylor pushed ahead up into 9th. Boosted, still on his outlap, awkward 12th and HD Zocker. That sounds pretty German. That sounds like someone from my native language. Inaugural race for MIS for him as well. But at least he posted a lap time. That gives him the edge over Josh Tyler, Joel Wiegel, Gregory Mortier and Nevis Ikic, while our opossum Keo Lauvik did not finish a lap yet. And Dominic Walsh likewise. Let's stay with him here for a moment. One of the championship battling Walshes. He has been champion already, season 1, I mentioned it. While his brother Tom was cemented in 3rd the last 2 seasons. Finished 3rd in season 1, finished 3rd in season 2. Let's see if Dylan Chapman can make up 60 points and push Tom into P3 again. Or if Tom Walsh will break this streak for this season. For the moment, Dominic Walsh, wow, strong P6. That is interesting. Opted to go on mediums. But I'm not sure if starting on the yellow rubber is really so important here today. There are some tracks where it is, but I don't think that Silverstone is one of them. Because the tire compounds are pretty hard, you can have a one-stop race if you start on softs too. You do not necessarily have to go yellow too hard if you want to have a one-stop. And Dominic Walsh will do hard now to run again. He needs to hurry back into his pits if he wants to have another run. Meanwhile, the quali takes a short breather here. With just under 4 minutes left on the clock, everyone is taking a breather, taking a sip. The only one who does not is Thomas Walsh. And he already got his lap time deleted, hurrying back to the pits, shaking off this set of tire, getting a fresh one, and then run once again very, very late. Meanwhile, we have a look at Jack Rognan. He is out of sync, out of the rhythm of the others, means he has the track more or less on his own here right now. But he will then already be finished when all the others have their each last shots. Maybe a bit of a slide there on the exit of Woodcott. Let's see what the end of Sector 2 will bring for him after the quick turn combinations. Beckett's Chapel, where he is in right here. And he is barely improving, a little bit more than a tenth. That would give him the edge over his teammate McDonald, but nothing else. So just the Haas potentially swapping positions. Question mark. One last turn. Club it is, and then he is ahead of McDonald, improving by 40 thousandths. So he lost a little bit of time in the last sector, but it was enough to attack and overtake his teammate, and he is finished. So McDonald already quit it, while Rognan is almost coming to a full halt here. First one of the top pack is Simpson. Let's have a look what he is doing here. A little bit too early. He could, in theory, have another lap. And he needs to. He looks slow, so Simpson is having himself a second warm-up lap, if you want so. interesting because his set of tire will be one lap older than the others around him on the starting grid. Then what else is important? Keo Laubik up into 5th, our opossum, at least for the moment. Let's see if he can hold on to it. Let's have a quick look at P10. Sam Gobert, invalid lap time it is. Andrew Mont in P6. Just starting his final shot. Both the Haas's are out. Both Haas's called it a quali. They are in the second starting row maximally. Let's see who else can attack them and push them downwards. Andrew Mont may be the first of them. 1/10 his improvements after sector 1. And then Dominic Walsh of interest, of course, just right behind Mont at the end of sector 1. 3/10 his improvement. Okay, he is on softs now. There he has to improve somehow. What is Tom Walsh doing just behind his brother? Oh, almost no improvement for Tom Walsh. This does not look good for Tom. Andrew Mont at the end of sector 2, he lost his time. He is level to his formerly posted hot lap. That is not so good for Mont. Where is his teammate? What is Simo doing? Simo improving, but what an improvement! Dylan Chapman in the pole, improving by over 3/10. That could give him the edge, and Simo was over the edge. Invalid lap time for Peter Simpson. Andrew Mont aborted his hot lap, so all eyes on the Walshes. First it is Tom Walsh here in P8, while Achter Lücken is up into 3rd, and Dominic Walsh is 2nd. All Mercedes front row, and what does Tom Walsh do? The older brother just one turn behind, and Thomas Walsh is 4th. This is it. This is our starting grid. All Mercedes front row, and then a McLaren of Peter Simpson, and 4th is this man, Thomas Walsh. Interesting quali. Dylan Chapman, who has to make up points, has snatched the pole. 3/10, rather big gap to his teammate Dominic Walsh. Peter Simpson then in 3rd. 4th, the other Walsh, Tom Walsh. P5, Achter Lücken. Strong result for Jelle. P6, Jack Rognan, and P7, Stuart McDonald. P8, Keo Laubik. 9th is Andrew Mont. P10, Sam Gobert. 3 tire options onwards here for Grimo Goodman. P12, the German one, I knew it. HD Zocker. 13, Mike Taylor. 14, Awkward. 15, Boosted. 16, Iggy Lai in no time set for Tyler, Wegel, Nevis Ikic, and Gregory Mortier. So again, it looks sunny, almost no clouds visible. Fair weather, and our drivers have around about half a minute of time to set the strategy for this race, and I will be back with you in a moment. So we see the tire strategy presented by the Amazon Web Services, and yeah, just what I mentioned. It is a one-stop race for sure, no matter which tire you start on. And now let's have a look what our drivers opted for tire-wise. Interesting. The top 10 have to start on softs, just as usual. And from P11 onwards, getting interesting. Something like a more or less 50-50 mix. Goodman, Taylor, Boosted, Wiegel, Mortier and Ekic opted for mediums, while the other half, the Soccer, Awkward, Iggy Lai and Joshua Tyler, want to start on softs, and I can understand why they want to start on softs, because you have really a lot of better grip, better traction on the start, while we see Dylan Chapman pretty much rushing actually this out lap, or this installation lap, warm-up lap, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, one more thing that is important to me personally, for me and for the whole mainstream racing series, as it is December 8th. Let's say Happy Birthday, alles Gute zum Geburtstag, alles Gute zum Geburi, for our Swiss reserve driver and part-time broadcaster Mirko Caruso. Enjoy your day, have a nice evening, celebrate your, what is it, 23rd birthday or something. Honestly, have a nice evening. I'm pretty sure you do not watch live, but maybe you rewatch it tomorrow or so, and then, yeah, think of us as we think of you, and wish you a pleasant day and happy birthday. So the 20 drivers have found their each starting box. The full grid of wins Silverstone. Good start for both the horses, or rather bad start for Peter Simpson.